For Christmas last year, my wife bought me one of those Oculus VR headsets. Now, what I thought was going to be kind of lame turned out to be pretty cool. Whether I'm having a lightsaber battle duel with Darth Vader or I'm bowling in a virtual bowling alley, I have the same experience every time when I take the headset off. That place felt like reality, and there's kind of like some snap back to reality when you take the headset off and you're standing in your living room. It takes some adjustment for me when I switch from VR to RR, real reality, or when I'm brought back to reality when I smash my hand on the coffee table that's not there virtually, but it's really there in the living room when I'm trying to bowl. Anyway, my point is this. Sometimes we can feel that as if this world that we're in is reality, when in fact, all I have is an apparatus covering my eyes to reality. Oddly though, the more I use the VR headset, the more comfortable I am in what I'm going to call unreality. You see, going back to the video we did last week, we addressed the question of Gen Xers. At the core question of that generation, they asked, what is real? And the answer, as it is with every generational question that we've been covering, the answer is always Jesus. And this one is the same. What is real? Jesus is real. Colossians chapter 2, verses 16 and 17 tell us that Jesus is the reality. So as I continue to think about what that means, that Jesus is the reality, that when I choose to follow his teachings, I'm living in RR, real reality. The other side of that coin is true then as well, that when I choose to live in opposition to his teachings, I live in unreality. My current thought is this: sin then is unreality. And sin, the more time I spend living in opposition to Christ, the more comfortable I am living in that reality. You see, what we don't often consider is this, that no matter how deep we live in unreality, that does not change the fact that Jesus is real. He is still very real. He is still the final say when your life comes to the end. The concern is this, that when I become more comfortable living in unreality, not only does that seem more normal, but I'm going to crash into reality sooner or later, the real reality, Jesus. And just like I smashed my hand into the real coffee table when I bowled in virtual reality or unreality, my life lived in opposition to Jesus is going to smash into his reality sooner or later. And he tells me this, that the sin reality is death. Now, that doesn't sound all that encouraging, but I also want to tell you this, that the reality is Jesus and his death on the cross. He promises us forgiveness for those sins. And his reality is forgiveness is found in Christ. So today, for you, for me, step into the reality of reality, the real reality of Jesus, and embrace the fact that no matter what you've done in your life, no matter what your past looks like, no matter how terrible you may think it is, reality with Jesus is he can forgive those sins when you confess them to him. No longer live in the unreality of sin. Step out of that and step into the hope and forgiveness that's always found in Jesus.